Well, good evening to everyone. This is Alvie from Just Alvie News. It's Wednesday, about 9 o'clock. I'm going to give you an update in the trial of Daryl Scarbrough, who's on trial for capital murder in the death of David Dunn. His case is going on this week, and I want to give you an update. We're going to talk about what happened with me and the judge today as best I can. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to log on. While you're waiting, click a reaction, click a care, click a heart, all that good stuff. Don't forget to hit share. No, you can always say hi down in the comments. What's up, Sammy? What's up, Val? What's up, Frank? Frank's on early. If you don't know by now, when Frank comes on, we stop what we do and we say, hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. What's up, Terry? What's up, Jennifer? Let me go ahead and take my shoes off there. What's up, Dennis? What's up, friend? Yeah, I'll give everybody a few more seconds to log on because I will have to choose my words very carefully tonight to make sure I don't violate the judge's orders. What's up, Linda? What's up, Mary? What's up, Lisa? Feel free to ask questions as we're going along as well. Oh, this weather's got me all dry. What's up, Betty? So I will go ahead and get started. So if you guys that don't know, Daryl Scarbrough is currently, we're going to talk about the judge, Dennis, I promise, is currently on trial for the murder of David Dunn. Of course, his body was found in Landmark right around the corner from me on Melroute Road, Ivy Chapel Road, actually. What's up, Montana? In September of 2021. We finally made it to court this week. They got the jury seated yesterday. Testimony started today. I was originally called to testify in that case for the prosecution. So I am still under, we'll talk about that in a minute. Just understand I'm still under subpoena, which will be the second half of this video. Because I want to give you an actual update on the case first. So there's some things I can and cannot say still. We'll talk about that the second half. Let me pull up my notes here. So the first witness up today was a deputy. First of all, the judge in the case is Kathleen. This is out of the 3rd Division. Yes, I got my body camera on. Good evening, Regina. Kathleen Compton, she's in the 3rd Division in the 6th Circuit up at Pulaski County. The prosecutor in the case is Barbara Maraney. I'm probably mispronouncing her name. And the defense attorney's name is Willard Proctor Jr. I did get several views of the jury today. They seem to all skew probably between 20 and 50, somewhere up that kind of a good mix of both male and female. I really wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to them because I figured when I got in court to testify, I would be able to get their mix made up for that. Court started this morning at 10:49 a.m. The first witness to be called was Deputy Bruce Scott. He's a deputy out at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. He went in about 10:49 this morning. He stayed into around 11:07. It's my understanding, based on what I've been told, that he was providing pictures and dash cam footage. Wasn't in the courtroom to witness that, so he was the first witness. Didn't go in there very long. Second witness is Sharon. What's up, Brianna? What's up, Tony? What's up, Janice? What's up, Patricia? Sharon, which was David's girlfriend at the time that this happened. She was a second witness. She went in at 11:08. We took a break around at 11:39, so she stayed on the witness stand about 30 minutes prior to us going to break. So a lot of hurry up and wait there. Now, I will tell you, during that time, Sharon come out. She was very distraught. You could tell she'd been crying. I'm sure it was an emotional experience for her. And she was still on direct, which means she was still under the prosecution asking her questions, not yet the defense, which usually gets more involved there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover the rest of the case, and then we'll back up because there's a break. So court came back in session at 1 p.m. So we took a lunch break from 11:40 to 1 p.m. And then at 2:30 they had another break, which we'll discuss. I will tell you, after Sharon was done, the next person that was scheduled to be up was me. I was called to be a witness for the prosecution. What's up, Janie? What's up, Scotty? What's up, Albert? It's called to be a witness for the prosecution. If I keep looking down, I'm looking at my notes. What's up, Myrtle? Called to be a prosecution witness. So we'll backtrack here. By the end of the day, I was no longer going to be a prosecuting witness, so I was off the witness list. We did have several more witnesses testify today. We got a Zach Ramsey. I believe that's the gentleman who actually found David's body originally. We got Regina and Kathy. Both of them live around the country club, the Lakeside Country Club area. I think one of them might even be part of the owners or somewhere up in that thing. They testified today as well. It's also my understanding the guy from AT&T testified, and they ended court after that. So first up in the morning is going to be Detective Jeff Allison. Now he's going to be the main detective who worked the case. So tomorrow, I can guess that, and I have to legally say that now, or I think, or I guess, based on what the judge told me to say, that, what's up, Tammy? What's up, Medusa? What's up, Jeannie? That tomorrow, Detective Allison will walk everybody through the crime scene. So tomorrow they'll show crime scene photos. They'll go over where the truck, they believe the truck was parked in the road, how many bullets was fired. So tomorrow is going to be a pretty graphic and gruesome day in the courtroom when Detective Jeff Allison takes the stand. Not sure what the order is. I do know there was other witnesses there. You had a detention center guard from Pulaski County Regional Detention Center. I got a pretty good idea what he's there for. I believe there might have been an altercation in the jail involving Daryl Scarbrough. So I believe that's going to get brought up. That altercation in the jail, I believe that's why that guy's there. You had two more detectives that was also working the case. They should be testifying as well. And then after there, you'll have like forensics, like the people that come in and prove the DNA and things of that nature. What's up, Jeannie? What's up, Macy? What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Joy? What's up, Karen? So prosecution should rest after that. Now, based on how often detectives normally stay on the stand, especially in a capital murder case, I'm thinking most of the day tomorrow is going to be with Jeff Allison's testimony, Detective Allison's testimony. So I'm looking for this court case to go on until Friday. I don't know if the defense will actually begin to be able to put on their case tomorrow or not. If not, they'll move until Friday. So we'll see how tomorrow plays out, but it definitely looks like this case is going to go on to Friday, at least before it gets to the jurors as well. Now, I did see David's mother when I was there. She told me to tell you guys thank you for all your prayers, your support. It was kind of rough on her today. Tomorrow's probably going to be more rough. I have spoken to her and Sharon about my personal opinion of them being in the courtroom. If anything graphic was shown, I don't personally recommend it. What's up, Stephen? What's up, Glenda? What is your part in this case for us? Who not to know? All right. So that's where we are in the trial of Daryl Scarbrough involving David Dunn. But now we got to back up, answer Jim's question, and then other questions. So, first of all, what I can't say, I was being called as a prosecution witness for things I posted on my Facebook page. I feel comfortable. I can say that. So I'll get to court today. Did my little video. Hey, jury's been seated. Everything's good to go. I stepped out of the way from everybody. I didn't show anybody. All my videos have been kind of vague compared to what I normally do when I'm covering cases. Before court got started, or it could have been when the deputy was in there, Deputy Scott might have been testifying at the time. A paralegal come out from the prosecution team and says, hey, you need to stop posting to Facebook. And I said, whoa, what? She goes, stop posting to Facebook. I started shaking my head. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, a jury member's relative seen one of your Facebook posts and commented that his cousin is on that jury. And my question is, okay, what does that have to do with me? I'm not the one that's not supposed to use social media. The juror is. They're not. A juror member shouldn't even told the relative that. Okay. So I was like, no, I'm going to need a legal justification for me not to stop posting. And she said, well, you're under subpoena, so you can't post. I went, no. I said, we need to talk to somebody else. I said, because I'm under subpoena not to testify. And when you're under subpoena in court, here's how it goes. You can't sit in the courtroom until after you testify and you've been excused from being recalled. And you're also not allowed to discuss what you're testifying is with the other witnesses. So even though you're sitting beside each other, what's up, Kathy? Kathy was there today. Kathy squirreled me off there. You can't discuss what you're going to testify about. And that's hard because when you're all sitting in a group, you all want to know what the other one knows, but we all did good. There wasn't discussion with that. I stepped around, went to the restroom. I come back. What's up, Janice? What's up, Kim? The assistant prosecutor come out and said, hey, Alvie, you can post what you want to on Facebook. Just remember, you can't, like, testimony and stuff like that. I said, okay, no problem. Went on about our business. What's up, Lisa? At right before lunchtime. Now, I will tell you, day one, let me backtrack. Day one, they brought us all in there. Everybody that's going to be a witness, you had to swear in. They asked, did anyone know you, any contact with you? There was one person on the prospective jury that followed not only my page, but followed the case, so she's excused. Daryl Scarbrough, the defendant in this case, I did get to stare him in the eyes. He gave me that opportunity because you have to introduce yourself. You have to give, hey, my name is Alvie, journalist for Just Alvie News. And when I said that, Daryl reaches over to his attorney and goes, that's that Alvie guy. And his attorney starts taking notes, and I was able to look Daryl Scarbrough right in the eyes for the first time. What's up, Debbie? So that's kind of how we're pre-sworn in. So we got face-to-face contact with the potential jurors. So we're all out. Right before lunch, everybody comes back out in the middle of Sharon's testimony, and they go, hey, everybody can go to lunch except Alvie. I'm like, great, what did I do now? They said, no, you're not in trouble. I'm like, getting called in principal's office. Regina says, are the jurors to be on social media or get info about social media? What's the difference between that and mainstream media doing a newscast about the trial? Absolutely no difference. And that's the kind of part. No, jurors cannot, you're not supposed to tell anybody anything about the case. You're not supposed to discuss the case. You're not supposed to actively seek info for the case. If you see a social media post come up about the case, you're supposed to skip it. And all that's going over in jury instructions. No big deal. I've seen it 100 times the past 3 years. So, no, it's really a juror problem if they're looking at the Facebook page. So I get called into the courtroom. I was told that more than likely my testimony was going to be more contested by the defense than what we originally planned. Originally, I probably would have had 10 questions. After the case is over and I'm legally allowed to tell you, at least I'll get that in a minute, what I'm legally allowed to tell you now, I can't. But it's like 10 questions. It was no big deal whatsoever. They said, see, told you, you'll go on after sharing after lunch. I went to lunch. I did an update. Go back after lunch. I have been called into the judge's chambers. Now, they come out before trial resumed, called me into the judge's, what's up, David? What's up, Ruth? Called me into the judge's chambers. I believe as an alternate juror, Regina. The judge's, the courtroom now, so the judge can question me about my social media post. And it's very important that we listen to her words carefully, because we got in there and told them, good afternoon, good afternoon. She says, I'm here to talk to you today about things you're posting on social media. She goes, one of your reader, viewer, what do you call them? I said, page followers. Says, yeah, when your page followers see one of your posts, again, you post it again. And I shook my head. I said, well, actually, I said, yes, ma'am. She said, sir, I don't think your First Amendment right extends in the hallway when a murder trial is going on inside and you taking pictures. I respectfully disagreed with the judge. I said, well, how? I said, I respectfully disagree. However, Your Honor, I have not taken any pictures of any witnesses. I have not photographed any of the jurors. I haven't even not got a picture of the defendant. I said, in fact, I agree 100%, Regina. What's up, Rita? I said, in fact, every video has been of my own self, my own face. The last video I shot was actually in my car. I said, I'm giving basic case updates, like jury started. I was late, so I covered everything I covered. I showed up too early for court. We're back in court. Like, here's the people that have already testified. Basic information to make sure. Because here's the thing. To me, it's less about violating that subpoena on not to discuss, and more so about not getting a mistrial, because I want this guy to go to prison. There's no doubt about this. I want him to go to prison for what he did to David, and I don't want to risk a mistrial. So I've been extra careful in this case. I don't know if y'all have noticed, normally when we have a case come up, I spend a few months before prepping you guys, giving you background information, all that. I knew I was going to be a witness in the case, so I held off on that. That way we're less likely to get a mistrial, which can present a conflict of interest with a journalist, but at the end of the day, I'm human and I want justice for David. What's up, Lee? What's up, Janie? So, I'm kind of shocked that she says my First Amendment right don't apply out there. She's told me she didn't have a problem with me posting basic, like, here the jury's in, that. She says we just can't give any details in the case. So I said, yes, ma'am, I understand that. You know, like, as long as I'm a witness, I can't discuss testimony. She says, yes, sir, and I'm going to extend that order until after the case is over. And I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I said, can I get clarification on that? She goes, yeah. She goes, you're not going to be allowed in the court, so you can post things on Facebook until after the trial is over. I said, it is my understanding that once I did my duty as a witness, that I would be excused as a witness, which is normal. You go testify, you get excused. I said, at which point I could be in the courtroom. The judge instantly says, I can't do that. I don't know if the prosecution is going to call you back again as a witness, and I don't know if the defense is going to want to call you back as a witness. Prosecutor stands up and says, Your Honor, we can just say discussions we had with Mr. Taylor, once he's through testifying, we're going to ask for him to be excused, and we have no objection of him being in the court. And she goes, well, I can't say if the defense is going to do that or not, so you're under this order until the trial's over. Let me pause right there before I can continue. The important thing is Sharon, David's girlfriend, one of the number one people testifying today, she was excused. She's now being allowed to sit in the courtroom. That's important to know. So this is very uncommon for them to do. So now the prosecution said, hey, I'm not going to do it. And I asked for more clarification. I said, I just need clarification. No witnesses are allowed in the courtroom at all, Regina. I asked for more clarification. I said, normally how I cover a case is I'll go in. I said, I'll take my notes throughout the case. I'll go back. I said, and I do a story on it. She goes, well, you won't be in here, so you won't have that access to that information. The Arkansas Democrat Gazette man was reporters in there. At one point, I looked over at him. She said, the difference between you and him is that you are a witness. I think that's a little bit early on. And I said, yes, ma'am, I understand that. I understand what my responsibility is. So much wrong. So much wrong with what she said. Like, first of all, y'all got to remember how I reacted today was based on one thing. I do not want a mistrial in this case. It is important, more important than anything right now. I don't want a mistrial. So I can temporarily swallow my pride in what's right to make sure David gets justice, because that's the most important thing to me. I told the judge, I said, well, that's a problem for me. I said, I've covered this case from day one. She goes, well, you won't have that opportunity now. Daryl Scarbrough snickers at that and reaches over and tells his attorney something. I get further clarification. The judge, what's up, Josh? The judge tells me once again that she does not mind me setting out and posting so-and-so went in court. And she even said I could say, I think here's what's going to happen. That's why I chose the words I think. What's up, Kathy? With my videos, right? So then I walked out. I'm like, okay, now we'll wait till after I testify. Because all this is a moot point until I testify. Once I testify and the prosecutor asks for me to be excused, the defense should excuse me, which allows me to be back in the courtroom covering the case. Which, by the way, is one of the main reasons I agreed to testify, is I'd still be able to cover the case. Oh, yeah, Lisa said it must have been nauseating hearing that snicker. It was, but Lisa, you guys would all be proud of me. I didn't stare back at him. I kept my eye contact. What's up, Wesley? What's up, Vicky? Mama Vicky? I kept my eye contact with the judge. I didn't make any... Maybe if you had a camera on my face, you could catch me kind of glance over when he snickered there. So I left the courtroom. Of course, at this point, all the other witnesses are laughing. There's some banter going around about, hey, Alvie, be careful. They'll be putting you in handcuffs. One of the cops says, one of the cops says, oh, no, I wouldn't put Alvie in handcuffs. You have to be foolish to mess with him. So we kind of laughed. All right. So Josh says they probably don't want any kind of a mistrial, any kind. Well, here's another issue, Josh. There is another reporter from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette that is testifying. But yet the Arkansas Democrat Gazette is allowed to be in the courtroom covering the case. You just rub people the wrong way, especially since you know your rights. But here's the thing, I was being good. Like, I wasn't videotaping the jurors. I could have got y'all pictures of all of them. I could have got you pictures of Daryl Scarbrough coming out of the courthouse, coming straight at because the courtroom, and him just staring at me, trying to mean mug me as he walked by. He didn't. I just smiled at him because I know what's coming to him. Joshua, my personal friend, too. That was the kicker. So, anyway, I think that got resolved. I already started looking up how to file a judiciary complaint because she really messed up when she said, "Sir, I don't think your First Amendment right extends to the hallway when a murder trial is coming on." Here's a couple of problems with that. A, it's the freaking First Amendment. My First Amendment right should be expanded everywhere. Josh, one of the things I can't wait to talk about is like my actual relationship with Sharon. I didn't even know I knew her the entire time until about 3:30 a.m. That's when her daughter told me that I went to school with her back in high school. So, it's been a long time since I'd seen her. Even when I seen her in person, I couldn't recognize her. Look, I'm good, but I get in trouble if just don't type anything, Shirley. She's not in jail. You know, there's Snickers going around. Sharon goes in, she finishes her testimony. The paralegal comes over and goes, "Alvie, you're up next." Perfect. I run to the restroom, getting ready to go testify. Come back. They say they're going to take a 15-minute recess. Before the 15 minutes is up, paralegal comes over, says, "Hey, Alvie, so we're not calling you to testify." I'm shocked because remember, I am next. I'm like, "Why?" She says, "Well, I'm not sure the reasons, but I'm not called to testify." I said, "Okay, good." She goes, "However, you're still under the judge's orders." No, she says, "You still can't go in the courtroom." And I said, "Well, how come I can't go in the courtroom?" She said, "Because you're under the judge's orders." I'm like, "Well, no, witness Alvie was under the judge's orders." What's up, Jennifer? And I started to get really aggravated at this point. She goes, "Well, you just can't. You're under subpoena." I said, "I was under subpoena from the prosecution." I said, "You know what? I'm not trying to be rude. You need to go get someone a little bit above your pay grade." I said, "Because it's about to get ugly out here." I said, "Because now you're not going to call me to testify," which me testifying prevented me from covering this case. And now you're telling me I'm not testifying and I still can't go in and cover the case. Lead prosecutor comes out. She apologizes to me. She doesn't agree with what's going on and what's happening to me. First thing I ask her, I don't think it's personal, Lisa. By the way, I don't think it's personal. I don't think it had anything to do, from what I've learned about this judge so far. She's not upgraded on technology, and she has issues with private information being released. So she's more conservative when it comes to information. So it's not personal. I do know the defense didn't want me to testify. They haven't all week. And now I'm not testifying. First thing I asked the prosecutor, "Why aren't you calling me?" They didn't need to call me because what they needed me to get in got put in with the last witness. Don't know if I'm legally allowed to tell you that now. No, she's been in Pulaski County. She just changed. She's in the 3rd division now. She used to be in the 6th division there. What's up, Tracy? So prosecutor comes out and go in and give her the weather report tomorrow. Well, I got some plans. I'm not going to lie. I go, so talking to the prosecutor, she's apologetic. I said, this isn't right. You don't want me to testify. This was our deal. I go, how come I can't testify if you're going to release me? She goes, well, you're under the judge's orders. I'm like, I need to get a very clear understanding. Am I not allowed to go in there because what that judge said or because what's going on in the case? She goes, well, I said, Barbara, you're not understanding. I said, I need a clear answer from you. Are you keeping me from that courtroom, or is the judge, because on my judiciary complaint, which I will file, I need to know that it was that the judge's illegal order that's barring me from that courtroom. She goes, well, we excused you. She goes, but you're still under subpoena from the defense. I said, well, Mama Vicky, I can't really tell you why I was testified. Base I can tell you is I believe I was going to get asked about things that I posted, maybe pictures and things like that I posted during this time. Yeah, Josh, I'm not taking it personally, like, and I get, but I mean, but they's definitely siding with the defense on here. So anyway, she tells me I've been subpoenaed, and I'm like, no, the defense never subpoenaed me, only you guys. And I went back and read my subpoena. It was only for the prosecution. She went back in there. She said, all right, give me a minute. Went back in there, come back out a few minutes later, and said, yes, the defense has deserved to reserve their right to call you, which was the suggestion that the judge made to them when I was in there the first time. Now, once they reserved me, I'm really supposed to stay there throughout the entire court case. So in other words, I should stay there till they ended today. I should be up there tomorrow and the next day, because that's what you do when you're a witness. You just go sit up there and wait for hours. Now, the judge already told the defense what to say. Now what they say. I asked the prosecutor. I said, well, hey, look, do I have to be up here today, tomorrow, and the next day? Because I'm pissed at this point. I am ready to blow a fuse. And she goes, I don't know. She said, will you talk to the defense attorney? I said, absolutely, go get him right now. She come back out. She goes, well, he don't want to talk to you right now. But he did say that since they have your text number, since they have your phone number, they can text you for court. Great. Which keeps me under the order. I haven't been the weatherman all week. It keeps me under that order not to sit in the courtroom. So that's the lowdown on that. Josh says, that's what I'm saying. Maybe just confused on the first thing that has to do with you, on specific that has to do with you. Here's the thing. Without a doubt, several of the witnesses that will be testifying, they will reference me or the news page. They'll definitely reference it. What's up, Twisted Noodle? Woo. Maybe tomorrow I can actually come there and get some lunch. I already know one or two people will reference me for sure. Would have come up probably in Sharon's testimony, probably in Melinda's, which was another person's testimony. So I'm sure my name come up, which is fine. I know my son don't want to work. I know I haven't been doing the weather, so surely son can't go to work. So basically they're trying to shut you up when the court is in session. That's exactly what they're doing, Tracy. So in other words, they're okay with the Democrat Gazette sitting there taking notes because they'll do their story later. The fact that I would be able to provide with up-to-minute updates kind of bugs her. Now, there are judges that are like that. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate for their side for a second. What's up, James? So, maybe you need to testify as a professional witness explaining Facebook and social media. I need to, for sure. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Kind of where Josh was going with it, but he never sure how to word it without me just going off, depending on my bipolar mood. I hope you're right on that, Josh. So, they don't want a mistrial. The judge don't follow social media. They're getting she's getting secondhand information from sources telling me from inside the courtroom, told me it was an alternate juror that brought it up, that snitched on me. That was the word that used. But none of my posts violated any of the things. None of them could even said I did because none of them even watched it. Okay. So you got a defense team that don't want me to testify. Now I'm on their witness list, which is cray-cray. They don't want, so from the judge's standpoint, she wouldn't want, you'd see this like, basically the jurors not following the rules is what it boils down to. So if the trial's going on and the jury is following the rules, it shouldn't be no big deal. I should be able to get up here and videotape everything going in that courtroom, and it shouldn't impact that trial at all. Because the jurors aren't supposed to be watching any news coverage on it or reading anything about it or listening to anything about it. You never want to mistrial. You don't. Yes, Lisa's right. The judge could have asked to review your post. She could have before she overstepped her bounds. And she did definitely overstep her legal authority when she brought up the courthouse. Now, a lot of you guys might not know this. In the actual courtroom, so I call that the judge's house that we own, by the way, the judge can say no cameras, no cell phones. No problem. But the Supreme Court has ruled on the other side of that courtroom door, so in the public lobby of a publicly accessible building, which Pulaski County Courthouse is. They let you bring cameras in there. Very peaceful to go in there and video, actually. The Supreme Court has ruled that I can record. I could sit in the hallway during a murder trial and record and do reports. Now, my question is, if we stop and think about this critically, okay, because she specifically said, Sir, I don't believe your First Amendment extends to you being in the hallway while a murder trial is going on. Okay, does that apply to a rape? Does that apply to an armed robbery? Does that apply to vehicle theft? Does that apply to drug bust? Who determines what case makes the First Amendment stop? Who gets to decide that? I can completely understand this if I violated any of the rules or remotely gave any clues away about the case, which I haven't. In fact, some of you guys asked me what I was going to testify about, and I either didn't respond to the comments, or yesterday or this morning maybe I even said, no, I can't talk about that yet until I testified. So, by the way, let me pause right there. Capricia, please forgive me, Mr. Pokester, Capricia here. Her loved one is Larry Stewart, who's been missing. Y'all see me, they share the post often. If y'all get a chance, I'll post an updated reel. Larry Stewart's still missing, and they would definitely love help getting their loved one back. He had COPD. He barely left his house, and then he just vanished. So y'all make sure y'all share that missing persons post on Larry Stewart. I seen his family member on here, so I just wanted to interrupt with that. So hopefully, kind of here's my plan. Yes, I'm very upset. I needed, not wanted, not for you guys. I needed to sit in and hear Jeff Allison testify. I needed that for some very personal reasons. Thank you. I see y'all praying for Mr. Stewart's loved ones. I needed to hear that. Once the case is over, I'll discuss some more reasons why it was important for me to hear his testimony. I needed it. I didn't want to. I didn't need it for the news. I didn't need it for the story. In fact, the girlfriend granted me an exclusive interview when I wanted. I know David's mom will talk to me when I want it. So I got access to all the information, but I needed it. This case impacted me. You know, it was Hunter Britton, and then this case, all in the same year. They impacted me for two different reasons. The David Dunn one, a lot of those are personal. Two opportunities that could have been me laying in the road. One, I could have beat David over to confront Daryl Scarbrough. I made a right instead of went left. And I would have stopped and confronted the guy, just like David Dunn did. The day they caught Scarbrough, Daryl Scarbrough, I was sitting in the field in an area that was supposed to already be cleared off our Woodson with my car parked the other way. I was there all day long searching for this guy. Just watching cops go by. They was doing all the search in front of me. Mom called. She really threw a fit. She guilt-tripped me into coming home and eating. And she probably saved my life. Because within 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours after I went home from eating, I get a phone call, hey, we're about to get him. Well, I go over where we're about to get him, and that's one of the people that was testifying today on their property. My car was back damn near to him with my back to it. No doubt in my mind that if it would have got dark, my guard would have been down, and he would have seized the opportunity to get in this vehicle. So in my mind, that's 2 times that I've escaped this guy. 2 times in the same week. And you watch it play out. Like, I was talking to my little brother about it today. I said, hey, look, at the end of the day, Mom probably saved my life. I was sitting there all day. This guy seen my pattern. He seen me get out of my car. He seen me go back to the trunk of my car. He seen me casually walk around and do what I was doing. Because where he was laying, he could see all that. So I could have been his escape hatch. Now, I know both of those are possibilities. But those are some of the reasons that I needed to hear Detective Allison case. And there's a lot of questions that I have. Just being on the manhunt, the way things, God has protected me in that for sure. Because Mom really did guilt trip me. That's the only reason I went home. Through the manhunt information I was receiving, I got a lot of unanswered questions. The detective on the case always assured me when the case comes out, I would be able to see what they see. And I have full confidence that to be the truth, but I was really wanting to see it and hear it myself. I eventually will, because I can interview the detective, or I'm getting a court transcript as well with that. So that's where we stand on that. I have had a couple of friends that said they was interested in sitting in the courtroom tomorrow. If you are one of those friends and you want to do that, please message me. I will tell you it'll be very, very graphic tomorrow. When the lead detective's up there, things that you might expect is close-up shots of the body, of every gunshot wound, like very, very graphic, full details. Takes a strong personality to sit and watch that stuff. Even when I gave the case file back on Hunter Britton, I watched everything, looked at all the photos again. I was upset for a month. And you just don't leave those images. So, kind of my workaway around this is that if you're in there listening, if you are one of those people that's in the court case listening, what's up, Jennifer? Jennifer was one of the people, I just got your message, by the way, now that my phone's off airplane mode. Jennifer was talking about going to being at the court. One of the workarounds there, if I have a friend that's in the courtroom while everybody's testifying, I can ask you guys, what did you hear? And we're fine. As far as me and the judge, I do plan on filing a judiciary grievance against her. I don't really want to get her in trouble, even though y'all got to remember this is my job. This particular story is one of the biggest cases I've ever worked on. And now she's literally preventing me from doing my job, and it actually benefits the defense on that case. By the way, Miss Polkstert, I'd still love to meet with you and your family and do just a one-on-one interview with you guys. That way we can keep Larry's name circulating around. So I am going to file a judiciary complaint. She really messed up when she talked about the First Amendment thing. And another thing I'm going to do in true Alvie fashion, I'm going to go sit in Kathleen Crumpton's court as many times as I can the next 6 months. I'm going to go in with my pen and paper, just like the Democrat Gazette guy does. And whatever trial that she's on, I'm going to be in a courtroom acting as a reporter and then going out in the hall and reporting on that story. Now, here's the reason I do this. One, you can say I'm being a smartass. Maybe it is. And to some degree it is. But well, Jennifer, follow me here on this. Here's my train of thought. If I can get her used to seeing me in her courtroom, Miss Polkstert, like, if I'm free after Friday from this court, we'll get it set up first thing next week. Squirrel. If I sit in her courtroom on cases that really, there'll be news interests because she only handles bigger cases, and go out and report, she will actually be used to me being in her courtroom. Because I think a lot of times one of the major breakdowns is that people in her position, they don't realize a lot of you, this is y'all's Arkansas Democrat, this is your KRK, this is your news source. So a lot of times they don't understand that Facebook can be a source for that. So I get that. So one of the things that actually, even though we still had trouble when we got to Hunter Britton's trial, if you remember, initially when I was going to his hearings and stuff, I was getting trouble from the courtroom people, the courthouse people, all these people. Well, I just kept showing up. And so the time we got to trial, everything was a little bit smoother. Now I'm having civil conversations with these people that we were bumping heads just months earlier, which is fine. I call them training opportunities. So that's one reason I want to be in Judge Crumpton's court, covering her cases, let her know social media and news people are not bad people, and we know how to do our job, and we take it just as serious as that guy with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. In this case, I think I would take it more serious. See, Beverly says, you are the news for what's happening in Landmark and East End. Whoop, whoop. Brother, I definitely see your point. I just think the judge is thinking something was, as we common folk don't know, just thought I'd have not taking sides, just a thought. And Josh, I go back to getting the sides, but it goes back to, all right, the judge don't even know that Sharon and I knew each other. That's something that you guys knew. That was never brought up. So that's kind of throwing that theory out that you was throwing out like a personal friend. If you're going to let one reporter in, you should let the other reporter in. I took my responsibility about going to court very serious. I didn't talk about any of my testimony. I didn't even go in full detail with my mother or my family about everything I was going to testify about. So, you know, I take pride in that, just like the judge has rules to follow, a police officer has rules to follow. You know, integrity rules for a reporter and a journalist, we have rules to follow too. We should be given the opportunity to follow those rules. It's, if you want the truth, just Alvie News. I think, you know, we get that a lot. Yeah, one of the things I'd made a comment about, I was like, look, because like, absolutely justice for David Dunn. I get it, I really do. I'm talking about you being subpoenaed and then taking off, having something to do with that issue. No, they let me go. Josh, that was the kicker. Like, they told me I could go home because they know they have no intention of calling me. The only reason they kept me under subpoena was to keep me out of the courtroom. That was the only reason. They have no... The defense don't want to call me. I wish the defense would call me as a witness. I wish Daryl Scarбrough's defense team would call me as a witness. I would welcome that opportunity. They will not like what I have to say. I've never even met the people before, and I'm on their witness list now. No, this is a tactic to keep you in. Jeff says, that's a lot told in the prayers. Josh, I get what you're saying because Shane said that. All right. So you have Sharon, the girlfriend, the main witness. She testified. She's excused. She can sit in the courtroom now. Tomorrow, when the detective, the lead detective on the case, is through testifying, he'll be excused and he'll be able to sit in the courtroom. The 4 people that went in and testified today, they've been excused. They'll be allowed to sit in the courtroom. This is a normal process. I wasn't asking for anything special. It should have just been just a standard, Your Honor, the prosecution is through with this witness. We ask he be recused, excused, and the defense usually says no objections, and they move on. I got what you were saying, Josh. That's what I need people to understand. So if the lead detective and the girlfriend, the 2 main people testifying, can go in, they've been excused, and can go in the courtroom and watch the trial, how come I couldn't? That is the real question. That's the real question. But at the end of it, Regina, true, unless you're a judge, I guess. Just because a judge says something doesn't make it legal. She did insert the words, I think. I don't think she expected me to challenge that. I don't think she expected me to have a bunch of questions. I did let her know how many followers I had, which is probably more people than actually voted for her at the last election. Not that that's relevant. But this is part of being one that, I know where I squirreled off to. So at the end, I'm kind of mad. I'm really mad. I'm really, really mad. Like I am mad. Like I'm mad. So over, I'm chatting. One of the law enforcement personnel goes, did you tell her that she works for you? I was like, no, let me tell you why. Difference between a cop and a judge. I said, you guys can put me in jail temporarily. A few hours or a day. legal or illegal. I said, when I'm in that judge's courtroom, she could be having a bad day and put me in contempt for 3 days or 6 months. I said, so in a courtroom, you do your best to say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and you follow your other legal recourses. I made my case. I got her to say what I wanted her to say. And she did. She made it clear that she didn't think someone should be out in the hallway reporting, none of her business. She made it clear that she had no issues with me actually telling the basics of the case. So when you look at it objectively, she's deciding what the First Amendment is. She's deciding for you guys. For you guys. She's deciding for you guys. Sounds like you've been there, done that a few times. I have. Like, whoop, whoop. It made me look at our 11th month anniversary subscriber. It keeps coming up. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. Plus, like, guys, y'all got to realize I have paid like $40 for parking. And they don't comp you on that. They give you $5 if you drive down to another courthouse and pay to park to go in and get it. That's what they pay. Now here the defense gives you $30. I'm wondering if I can claim that $30 since I'm now on their witness list. You know, the same defense who didn't want me to testify, but are following the judge's recommendations and putting me on reserve. So that's kind of what we're going with there. I still plan on being there for the verdict, no matter what. I will get you a picture of Daryl Scarbrough. I will tell you he looked quite dapper. He's in a nice three-piece suit. This was yesterday. Today, I don't think he had a vest. Nice three-piece suit that went all the way up to here with like a Ashcroft. Am I saying that right? The cover Alvie's neck tattoos. He looked really good. Clean-cut haircut, no black eye. Josh says, I'm sure you will find out the reason after it's all over. Maybe a little late, but hopefully you will get your answers, brother. Josh, they told me my answers. They told me, Daryl, I can post a picture of Daryl. In fact, if y'all just go to Facebook and type David Dunn, just scroll down. Most of the posts will be from me. Jennifer, tomorrow is going to be a big day. Probably not the last day. Tomorrow, first witness is Jeff Allison, the lead detective in the case. I'm thinking it goes to verdict on Friday. But tomorrow will be important in the case. I wish I could be there for that. So Josh, I've already got my answers because that's kind of how it goes. They make the questions, they make the answers, and they make the decision right there on the spot. You're in her courtroom. So she has authority over that courtroom. I will tell you right now, she was very pleasant. She was not rude. She was not condescending. She did not talk down to me. I have no reason to think this person has anything against me personally. I don't think she truly meant any ill will towards me. I don't think she intended to do me harm. I don't think she intended to harm my news page. I don't think she intended to harm me personally. I think this is where a judge just starts inserting their personal opinions into things they'll be better off not to. Now, I was getting questions. Was anybody from the Redfield Police there? I didn't see anyone there from Redfield Police. I don't believe any of them is going to be testifying. Sorry, bro. Hope it gets better. Ow, Josh, it will. You know, Josh, I call them training exercises when I'm not that mad. Like they trigger me because if we can work towards preventing it in the future. So in other words, y'all look at my interaction with Pulaski County Sheriff's Department and Saline County Sheriff's Department today compared to 2 years ago or a year ago. Look how far that we've cut, especially with Pulaski County. Like, their police officers routinely talk to me. They won't give me any details because I don't ask. They're not standoffish. They're used to me being around, so it's a training exercise. This is Kathleen, Judge Crumpton's first term in 3rd Division. I don't know hardly anything about her before that. I do know she's got one of those courtrooms that yells no cell phones, no cell phones, no cell phones, no cell phones. So I'm guessing that is less to do about the ringing and more to do about videotaping. I don't know. Haven't looked for anything bad on her. Y'all will know I'll FOIA request all of her public information. That's just standard practice when a government official violates your rights, and she definitely did. She even knew she did, especially when she mentioned outside the courtroom. By the way, I'm still allowed to be out in the courtroom, and I can take pictures of all the jurors, and I can take pictures of the defendants, and I can do all that. Just can't talk about with that. So, I don't think she had anything personally against me. I think she probably didn't understand what I was posting on Facebook. She should have given me the opportunity to, at least the benefit of the doubt, to go look and see. But she elected not to go that route. As many times as they've taken breaks, 9 a.m. court starts. We don't get started till after 11. Regina says she has interfered with your ability to work and report on this case. She absolutely has. She's affected my work. She has. And at the end of the day, if I work for a corporation, they wouldn't stand for this because it does impact your ability to actually do a case. I covered this story from day one. From the first 15 minutes. Through all the manhunts, when the red truck was found, the suspect was found, when he was arrested, when he is identified as being wanted from California. I haven't missed any of this case. And so she's definitely impacted my ability to do my job by this rights violation. But I'm looking at it as a training episode. I told a few of them that was up there, they was making jokes. I was like, hey, look, here's the truth. And I know this. I know this about you guys. I was like, to me, it's going to be, I said, it's extra content when they do this. And I said, truth is, people on Facebook, I said, they kind of like the confrontations. I said, I could go around and film police acting silly all day long. I said, and would have 20 times more followers already. I said, I just elect not to do that. And, of course, some of the ones that was sitting there that do watch the page, they're shaking their head, agreeing with me. Because I know it. I've watched y'all's reaction when a firefighter or a police officer, they interact with me when I'm out on videotaping. I don't know if it's my facial expressions, what I say to them. You guys will tune into that all the time. Of course, there's tons of First Amendment audit channels where people do that, and they get hundreds of thousands, millions of views. So I know there's a market for it. I will argue. Oh, Josh, well, I know you're my, remember, and by the way, if you guys are ever watching and Josh comes on, we've known each other forever. So never take anything he says towards me like I'm internalizing it. Because if I had a problem with him, I'd just show up to his house or where he works. Which is, by the way, Chuck Surplus, if you're looking for anything to do, roofing, siding, windows, doors, carpet, appliances, lumber, Chuck Surplus on the corner of Arch and Dixon. But, no harm, just making it a little interesting. Well, of course you do. That's what makes it fun. So with that, I'll open it up to you guys. I'll try to answer questions about the case, even specific ones, any that I legally can. Yes, sir, and I will cook you a meal. Oh, I'm going to take you up on that. So if you got any questions about the case or about me, my First Amendment violation, never take Josh seriously, and Chuck's got you. Yeah, Chuck's Surplus got you. I'll take those, or just whatever. I'll stay on it for about 5 more minutes, unless you guys have some really good questions. I did figure out what's wrong with my electric. Tomorrow, today hasn't been bad because it's been warm. but I can't plug in a heater and a light bulb. But I think I found my burnt ground wire. Now I just got to know how to fix it, so that'll be interesting. No, now that was my job. Never take this seriously. Shirley, be careful what you post. We need you staying out of Facebook jail. Because if I go to real jail, I need my friends to be able to raise money for my bail, which means y'all can't be in Facebook jail. Even though I will have to tell you, Shirley Jones, me and my younger brother Shane, we had a discussion about how it appears more of my Facebook followers go to Facebook jail faster than any other accounts we follow. So we almost feel like trolls watch my live feeds, and when y'all say something, they hit report. So he's back in Facebook jail. So to my followers, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry y'all go to Facebook jail. I know I can say the word kidnapping, but you can't type it. I know I can say certain things, but you guys can't type it because I know some trolls reporting the comments, probably the alternate jury. Off topic, but you should have been on the Dad Show. They were doing prank calls and asked for numbers, and I posted mine, and they called me. It was hysterical. Oh, that would have been funny. Chuck has my back down at Shirley Jones' house. We love you and what you. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. And look, I remember when I first had altercations with people, my anxiety would go up. I would get nervous and, like, what am I going to say to you guys? How are we going to react? Absolutely, Janie, I will do that. I will disconnect the main power. It wouldn't do them any good to call me because I don't answer calls from numbers that are in my phone, much less blocked or unknown numbers. I don't know. Y'all done got me squirreled off on phone calls. Whatever. I guess it really wasn't. Oh, yeah. And my anxiety would be up when I was having to face it. But now, like, I still losing my cool talking to the paralegal. I just told her that was unacceptable. I need a lawful answer. Said losing my cool talking to the prosecutor. I just come up with more legal arguments to ask instead of being in front of the judge. And going a little bit sideways. My anxiety wasn't there over it. I had more anxiety about testifying than I did going in facing the judge. There's probably a reason for that. Because if you've ever been in that defendant chair, yeah, you got a different experience of the courtroom. For that. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to those Dads After Dark calls. Watch it. Sorry I missed it. I've been out. And somebody said, oh, I look good this week. It's funny because I'm walking around town, Regina, so people get to see me. And so I got the tie on. People's compliment me. I'm like, whoop, whoop. What did the Dads After Dark people say, Tracy? And you guys are complimenting me. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I should wear a tie more often. Y'all got to realize in corporate America, I wear a tie every day. So I didn't wear J's today with my tie. Couldn't find the tie I wanted to wear, and I was really sleepy. Josh says, I don't want any part of the courtroom on either side. What about the witness? You got to realize it's prosecution, it's defense, it's the audience, and it's the jurors. And then your judge. There's actually 5 sides, and they all operate different. Because if you don't think all of them impact what goes on there, you need to go set in some court cases. By the way, I will remind everybody, I had to tell a bunch of witnesses, it's not like what you see on TV at all. Nothing like it. It's fake. Jenny says I was strutting. Oh, that I wouldn't answer. Yeah, Dads After Dark would definitely tell you that I wouldn't. I would not answer. I will not answer that number. maybe if I'm trying to, sometimes I'll answer unknown calls if I'm trying to record them and actually prank the scammer. I'll have to show you guys some of those. Sometimes they get kind of funny. So, well, that's what I got for tonight. Was it 10:14? What, I stayed on right about an hour. I hope you guys had a great night. Well, I got 35 of y'all on there. I'll say, hey, if you want to earn one of those green supporter badges that you see Shirley with, Janie with, Mamie with, Regina with, Lisa with, and a few others, you can hit that green badge down at the bottom. It's $4.99 a month. That money goes right to support the page. And if you can't see it here, you can go to the main page. Y'all's comments got me laughing. You can go to the main page and hit that green button. It's $4.99 a month. You can cancel any time. Also, I did set up a GoFundMe account for myself for 6 months of expenses and things like some upgrade on equipment and, you know, an oil change and tires. I got that set up on the Facebook page as well. Raised about 10% of what we was asking for last week, so that was pretty good. So I appreciate that. See, I'm still waiting on Mikey's glasses. They're talking about Dads After Dark. Jennifer says they couldn't even star 69 you because you have ways around it. I do. You're not going to be able to. It's hard to prank call me. Josh says time to get out the stripper pole. Oh, yes. Yes. Maybe we should take the stripper pole down to the courthouse, Josh. I don't know about that. So you can tell it's after. Oh, because I told the time. It's after 10 o'clock. Now we can start talking about the stripper pole. It's because the hair's flat, so it takes longer to get in. When the hair's sticking up, I catch y'all's comments a lot faster, and it goes shoo. Maybe I can go get a haircut tomorrow. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right, guys. I think I'm out of here for tonight. I need to go finish my water. Y'all continue to pray for David Dunn's family. Y'all pray for Sharon, his girlfriend. Pray for the detective who gets on that stand tomorrow. Pray for those jurors. Just keep everybody in your prayers. Pray for the judge. And I want y'all to understand, I'm not even mad at the judge. Like, I got her fax number. I got her phone number. So y'all pray for her, too. I was wondering why the hair was down, sending prayers. Y'all want to be honest? I talked to the morning crew about it one time. I've been going through a bout of depression. So that's how come you hadn't seen me in and out in public. Which means I didn't go get my hair cut. That's what it boils down to. It's part of bipolar depression. I'm not going to joke with you guys, especially the ones that are still on. We got a lot of milestones coming up on cases that impact me. We got this case coming up involving David Dunn. We got Joshua Cadell's murder case coming up. And we got Karen McFarland's murder case coming up. Plus, we're coming up on some anniversaries of some things. Doing this job. Yeah. Sometimes it can be difficult if you're truly compassionate, you truly care, because it's hard to get those things out of your mind. So with those 3 cases kind of come up, why is everyone leaving it? It's because I need to shut the video off and start another one, Josh, because the longer I go. But don't forget to share Larry Stewart. Oh, yeah, y'all don't forget to share Larry Stewart. I'd want to meet with his family tomorrow. Also, you know what? Let me end this video. Go get some water. I'll come back in and chat with the rest of you guys in a few minutes. If y'all want to come back. Y'all want to do that? Click a heart reaction if you want me to come back. This is Alvie from Just Alvie News, reminding you to hit share. And don't pretend like you hit share. It tells me when you hit share on these videos. And always make good choices. I'll be back on in a few minutes.